Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Apopka High School welcomes you to Joe Sterling Gymnasium for game number 18 of the 10th annual Metro versus Florida Challenge, presented by St. Germain Chiropractic and Burn Fat Orlando. It's the event that puts the reputation of the Orlando Metro Conference and its 20 public high schools in Orange County against some of the best talent in the greater Central Florida area. And today we welcome a team from Polk County for game 18, wearing the black jerseys. Visitors on the scoreboard from Lake Wales High School. Please welcome the Highlanders. And wearing the white jerseys, home on the scoreboard representing the Orlando Metro Conference from East River High School, they are the Falcons. Let's meet the teams, beginning with Lake Wales. And we will start at guard with 5'10" senior number 1, Kason Diaz. At guard, 5'6" sophomore number 2, Donald Gatlin. At forward, 6'3" senior number 11, Jeffrey Dorsonville. At guard, 6' senior number 13, Cory Wright. And finally for the Highlanders at forward and center, 6'7" senior number 35, Trevon Dexter. The head coach of the Highlanders in his first year at Lake Wales, Mr. Bobby Banks. And now let's meet the East River Falcons, starting at guard at 5'11" senior number 4, Julius Osborne. At shooting guard, 5'11" junior number 5, Austin Tyree. At guard, 6'1" senior number 10, Josh Rodriguez. At guard, 6' senior number 20, Michaah Johnson-Bargnare. And finally at center for the Falcons, 6'5" senior number 35, Imran Shavat. And the head coach of the Falcons in his third year at East River, Mr. Wes Below. The officials for today's game are from the Central Florida Officials Association here in Orlando. Today's game is being live streamed on YouTube. If you have friends and family back in Polk County, back at East River, or anywhere in the world, and they're not able to join us in person today, send them a message right now. Let them know they can search for Metro versus Florida Challenge on the YouTube app on their favorite mobile device, computer, or smart TV, and follow along live. They can also go to metrovsfl.com for links to all of our live video footage as well as live stats. And good afternoon to those of you joining us online. My name is Mark Barchi, Media Director for the Metro versus Florida Challenge, and I am joined as always by Neil Fisher of the Apopka Chief, ready to take you through game number 18. And we're going to start it with a foul. Neil, they've interrupted you here. We're going to let you introduce yourself in a second. But first, a foul is called against number 4, Julius Osborne. That's his first of the team's first, and it will send Trevon Dexter to shoot 2.
So thank you again, Mark. Now that we have a break in the action, as always, a great job doing the introduction. Happy to be here. Of course, this is our third game today. We have 8 scheduled, and there will be 23 total over the course of 3 days. And immediately we got some action under the paint there, a couple of free throws.
Imran Shavat on the pass from Osborne. All right, both teams on the board early as a contrast to our last game. Foul's called against number 11. Jeffrey Dorsonville hits his first, the team's first.
So as we get started here, again, taking a look at these two teams, you got the Lake Wales High School representing the Florida contingency. They come in this season off of a 22-9 record last year, 6-2 in their district.
Foul called against number 13. Cory Wright is first, team second.
They are now a member of Class 5A District 7. And most importantly, though, they made it to the regional final last year. That, of course, was the round of 8 in the FHSAA postseason tournament. As you mentioned, Bobby Bankso takes over. It's his first year. And the names you want to listen for is Donald Gatlin.
Rodriguez on the pass from Michaah Johnson-Bargnare, 4-3.
Donald Gatlin and Polk Preps All-County honorable mention as a sophomore. John Garcia, Isaiah Telot, and Cory Wright are the seniors that return and will be counted on. 1, 2, 6. In total,
Second chance basket by Dorsonville.
in total, 8 seniors return. So a very senior-laden team, even though they lost a number of seniors from last year's team. On the other end, East River is looking to rebound. A disappointing 8-17 record, 1-6 in their district. They lost in the district quarterfinals. They are now in Class 6A, District 5. The names you want to listen for are Julius Osborne, Savaughn Hartwell, and Michaah Johnson-Bargnare. They're guards, they're quick, tough, tenacious defenders. That's the scouting report, and they add this year Isaiah Evans and Josh Buford. So this is a matchup, even though we have a 5A team versus a 6A team. Excuse me, a 6A team, yes, 5A versus 6A. Again, remember, the FHSAA has reduced the amount of classifications from 9 to 7.
Foul called against Josh Rodriguez is first. Gatlin at the line shooting 2, making his first. Checking into the game for the Highlanders, number 4, Jaquel Huffman.
So as I was saying there, Mark, there are only 7 classes, so you have a 6A team versus a 5A team. So this is more of a matchup of a the higher class of members of the higher classifications that is pretty much middle of the pack, taking on a perennial postseason qualifier and a postseason qualifier that wins in the postseason.
Comes Rodriguez. He'll go back to set up the play, and it's intercepted. And then taken right back by Osborne, who will let one go on a floater. That's not going to fall. But he gets his own put back there. Julius Osborne with his own second chance basket. Timeout, Highlanders. Full timeout requested by Lake Wales. We'll be right back. All right, we're back to live action here at Joe Sterling Gymnasium at Apopka High School in the middle of the first quarter of Game 18 out of 23 in our 10th annual Metro versus Florida Challenge. And Neil, our 10th anniversary event calls for something special as we get a 3-point basket by Donald Gatlin, and that is the largest Metro versus Florida Challenge we've ever had, 23 games.
Yeah, absolutely, Mark. I'm not sure there's very much I can add to that. Putback
made by Imran Shafat.
So 23 games in 3 days, of course, remain in effect.
Traveling. Falcons ball. Checking into the game for the Highlanders, number 33, Amorian Plain.
I would say, though, Mark, that this is very much like the NCAA championship tournament in the fact that it's wall-to-wall coverage of basketball. If you love basketball and you can't get enough, this certainly is an event that you want to follow. It's about 12 hours, just like you get from the NCAA basketball tournament.
The other thing that's interesting about the placement of this tournament on the calendar, we were at MLK weekend for a couple of years because the FHSAA moved the basketball season to start after Thanksgiving, so it was not possible to hold a tournament on Thanksgiving weekend. But now Coach Williams has moved it back, which creates some interesting matchups because you really don't know what to expect as we get a foul called against Amorian Plain. That's his first and the team's third.
We've mentioned throughout this tournament that none of these teams have played more than 2 games. So this is the very first game. You're still in that process of trying to feel your team out, trying to figure out what their strengths and weaknesses are. It's one thing to look at it on paper, but it's another thing to actually see it on the floor.
And a lane violation will give an extra free throw here to Osborne. And he makes the best of it.
It's been a fast-moving first quarter here. We're already at the 4-minute mark. 19 points put up. Say another thing we've seen here, another trend. This has pretty much gone out throughout, I'd say, over 2/3 of the games. You get one team that comes out, they look hot, especially the field goal percentage. They're moving the ball well, getting up and down the court. And the other team, it looks like they're still trying to find their footing. That team takes about a quarter and a half, and then they rally. So we've pretty much had a couple of rallies by both teams here in most of these games during the first half.
Jerron Dexter pounds the paint for 2.
So, of course, we saw that in the last game, Osceola, the defending state champions, a bit of a surprise to see them be the team that got off to the slower start. They did rally and actually took a lead into halftime, but then a 23-0 run by Evans pretty much put that game to an end as far as the outcome.
Held up in traffic and will go the other way. And let's see, are we going to get a charge call or are we going to get a block call? No, they're just going to say it went out of bounds. Okay, no foul called. It's just Falcons ball.
Sub, go to the X, please. So they know you're coming in. Thank you, sir.
Austin Tyree and a jumper from Josh Rodriguez. Jaquan Huffman is blocked on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. The foul is called against number 20, Michaah Johnson-Bargnare. That's his first personal foul. The team's third. Jeffrey Dorsonville fouled on the putback attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Michaah Johnson-Bargnare is again called on the foul. His second, now the team's fourth. 2 misses for Dorsonville, not able to take advantage there. Still remains a 2-point ball game in favor of the Falcons. And Neil, while Vero Beach is the farthest traveling school to get to this year's event, this may be the farthest combined distance between two schools for East River and Lake Wales. Neither one of these schools particularly close. East River is on the opposite end of Orange County from Apopka, and Lake Wales all the way in Polk County.
Yeah, I was going to say there that even though East River is in the Metro Conference, they are on the other side.
Yeah, we forget sometimes that they are, in fact, in Orange County, just as Apopka is in the northwest corner. East River is all the way out to the east side. And here we're going to get Michaah Johnson-Bargnare on a jump shot for 2.
Yeah, not that far, actually, from Volusia County. I believe only about 10 miles. I know, of course, the 528 and the 520 are within a few minutes of East River.
And as a result, the crowd in the arena here is a little bit light for this game. We certainly understand that. It's a holiday weekend, and this is a long trip for fans of either one of these schools to make. Putback is made by Javon Dexter. So a couple of offensive rebounds paying dividends there for Lake Wales. Tyree, jumper, not going to go. But Neil, in spite of the distance, that's why we do these online webcasts, and so we hope that we have some fans from the opposite side of Orange County as well as all the way from Polk County joining us today. Garcia gets the rebound here after the 3 won't fall from Cole. And the Falcons are going to slow things down a little bit. No full court pressure coming on by Lake Wales.
Yeah, both these teams, we've talked about this. We've seen most of these teams like to move up and down the court at all costs every time they have an opportunity.
30-second timeout. Who scored that? 30-second timeout.
30-second timeout requested by the Falcons.
However, before we go to break, though, I'd like to say these teams are much more deliberate and methodical pace. So, again, only 35.4 seconds, a bit of an oddity here in the fact that we have a timeout. We are tied at 15-all. My cell phone isn't charging. So a tie ball game here, opportunity for East River to get the last word, and, well, bad pass.
That takes us to the end of the first period, and we've got ourselves a tie ball game. 15-15 is the score at the end of the opening 8 minutes. We'll be right back. go to Sterling Gymnasium.
You gotta watch yourself. I have the social media. Now, I'm not like you. I don't crowd surf at state semifinal games.
Our coach, Neil Fisher, here to take you through the second quarter of our game number 18 between the East River Falcons and the Lake Wales Highlanders.
Yeah, it's so far pretty much evenly matched for both teams here.
I mean, if you don't want to ball boy the game, we can put you in the crowd today. Surf all you want.
Basket by number 20. As Tadarius Fields with that. Checking into the game for East River, number 3, Jalen Brown. Terrell James is fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Checking in for East River, number 30, Oscar Correa. Terrell James is called on the foul. That's his first. The team's fourth. At the line shooting will be Ezekiel Almodovar. Checking into the game for Lake Wales, number 1, Quezon Diaz. Shafad gets the offensive rebound. Opportunity to make something out of nothing here. They'll go down the baseline. Nothing there. They'll go to the corner, swing out to Correa, and he's got it. Correa for 3.
Who shot that? Who shot that 3 for Lake Wales?
Tadarius Fields gets the basket and a chance to make it a 3-point play. A strike there. That was Anglin with the basket, a chance to make it a 3-point play. Who scored that one? 30? And now who scored that?
31.
Thank you. Basket by Terrell James. Foul called against number 11. You meant block 11, right? Three-point basket scored by number 1, Kazan Diaz, and we'll pause for a timeout taken by the Falcons. Full timeout requested by East River. We'll be right back.
So as we return a 29 to 20.
Trevon Dexter steals 2. Donald Gatlin back in for Lake Wales. Fouls called against number 23, Yoda Rivera. His first, the team's 6th. Checking into the game for the Highlanders, number 13, Cory Wright. Julius Osborne picks up 2. Three-point basket scored for Lake Wales by number 22, Jeremiah Anglin. Austin Tyree picks up 2 for the Falcons. 3-point basket scored for Lake Wales by number 13, Cory Wright. Checking into the game for Lake Wales, Jaquo Huffman. Blocked out of bounds by Fletcher.
2:19 left here in the first half. And Lake Wales, again, a team that made it to the regional finals last year, has a 13-point lead here.
Push is called against number 5, Austin Tyree. His first. The team's 7th. At the line shooting for Lake Wales, Jaquo Huffman. Cory Wright steals 2.
So coming up next here, stick around. We got an interesting matchup. The females will take to the court. It'll be Seminole versus Apopka, the host school. Minute and a half left here in today's game, in this game.
Tyler Green in for Lake Wales. Korea is not able to make it fall. Highlanders on the rebound. Putback is made by number 13, Cory Wright. Gosh, with that air ball, if you didn't know better, you'd say that was intended to be an assist. Tyree's 3 won't go. The rebound into the hands of Garcia.
Another opportunity here for East River.
3 is still not going to fall. Checking into the game for the Falcons, number 24.
Full timeout, Lake Wales.
It's Ezekiel Almodovar, and we'll pause for a full timeout requested by Lake Wales. Welcome back to Joe Sterling Gymnasium. 30 seconds to go here in the first half. Lake Wales so far having their way with the Falcons.
So again, 15 seconds, opportunity for Lake Wales to increase that lead.
Held ball, possession Highlanders.
And great way to end the quarter there for Lake Wales.
Donald Gatlin floats in the jumper from the baseline, and that will take us to the end of the first half. It's a 43-24 ball game as we go into halftime here in Game 18 of the 10th Annual Metro versus Florida Challenge. All right, we're going to take a quick lunch break. We'll be back in less than 8 minutes.
Arrow change.
Welcome back to Joe Sterling Gymnasium. Mark Parchi, Media Director for the Metro versus Florida Challenge, here with Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief, ready to take you through the second half of Game 18.
Yeah, Mark, not much suspense there in that first half.
Cory Wright for three on the pass from Donald Gatlin.
Lake Wales came out, took a lead early, and just kept building it from there. Statistics, of course, reflect the score here. Lake Wales shooting the ball very, very well. Field goal percentage, of course, 16 of 34. That's 47%. Both very well balanced for Lake Wales. 11 of 23 from two-point range. 5 of 11 from beyond the arc.
Out of bounds, Highlanders ball.
Total of 17 rebounds for Lake Wales, only 21. They're actually losing that 21 for East River, but remember, when you shoot almost 50%, there are less rebounds to grab. East River, again, only 10 of 25 from the field. That's 40%. Lake Wales also has the advantage in free throws, 6 of 12. Not shooting great, but of course they've gone to the line 3 more times than East River, only 2 of 4, and East River has 9 turnovers compared to 3 for Lake Wales.
Foul called against Cory Wright, his second, the team's second. Nice block there. That's Jeffrey Dorsonville.
So again, Mark, this is the 10th annual Metro versus Florida Challenge. And what that basically is we got a foul here.
No, just out of bounds.
Turnover, okay. So what this is the Metro Conference is all the public high schools in Orange County. And there's a representative from the conference in each school. They take on what's called the Florida contingency. That's basically the schools that are not in the Metro Conference. And at the end of 23 games in 3 days, we add up the total amount of victories. Right now, the Florida contingency has a 10-7 lead. Going through the history of this event, we've done this 9 other times. It's a 7-2 lead by the Metro Conference.
Jumper by Michaah Johnson-Bargnare.
And as you mentioned, Mark, at the beginning of this game, the East River is a Metro Conference member. However, it seems like they're on the other side of the world. They're actually on the east side and probably only about 10-12 miles from Volusia County. As we get a turnover here.
Well, I didn't count that as a turnover. Cory Wright steals 2. You can either count it as 2 turnovers or just a deflection with nothing, and I felt bad.
Okay. Well, either way, East River, again, is unable to maintain possession of the ball, and the lead grows.
And here we're going to get it slapped away out of bounds. Block. Putback made by Javon Dexter. Checking into the game for the Falcons, Alex Garcia and Oscar Correa. For the Highlanders, number 22, Jeremiah Anglin.
So another offensive rebound there for Lake Wales. And I mentioned they had 17 rebounds. They were actually losing that particular statistic at halftime, but a bit odd. They had 10 rebounds and 10 offensive rebounds and 7 defensive. It's rare that you see more offensive rebounds than defensive rebounds.
Javon Dexter from the baseline. Johnson-Bargnare to Tyree, 4-3. Jeffrey Dorsonville picks up 2. Austin Tyree is called on the foul, his second, the team's second.
So I also want to point out here, Mark, since we do have a rather large lead, FHSAA has made some changes during the offseason.
White 20 in the hole.
Hold is called against number 20, Michaah Johnson-Bargnare. That's his third personal foul. Checking into the game for East River, Ezekiel Almodovar. And for the Highlanders, number 15, Jamar Cole.
First off, the FHSAA has reduced the number of classifications from 9 to 7.
Second chance basket.
So, of course, that also means that there are larger districts.
15 black.
The last 4 or 5 years, there's been, I would say, no more than 5 members in each district.
Block is called against number 15, Jamar Cole. Out of bounds, Highlanders ball.
And of course, more members in the district means there's a number of intangible changes. Of course, it starts logistically, as you've pointed out a number of times, Mark. You have to travel further. The number of trips to another opponent is more, but you also have to travel a further distance in total. Then, of course, you have a completely different amount of game planning to do. Much wider range and variety of styles and tactics and strategies that the opponents have.
Foul called against Ezekiel Almodovar. That's his first, the team's fourth.
But most tangibly, and most importantly, of course, has to doing with the FHSA postseason tournament. And of course, that's why you play a regular season to get into the FHSA postseason tournament. The format has changed to what the football teams have been using for the last 3 years.
Michaah Johnson-Bargnare with a long 2-point jump shot.
There are 4 regions across the state of Florida, and there are 4 districts in each of those 4 regions. The champion of each district gets a automatic berth into the tournament, and as a reward, they will be seeded no worse than 4th. The other 4 teams which make the playoffs in each region are of a wild card nature, and that wild card nature is determined by a point system overseen by maxpreps.com.
Jeremiah Anglin for 3 on the pass from Donald Gatlin. Traveling, full timeout requested by the Falcons.
Full. Whole time. Take a picture.
So England, after his tray, is now up to 5 points.
Pause to take some sweat off the floor.
The refs there, of course, give the go-ahead. Both teams gone man-to-man defense the whole way, and that's been the MO defensively for this whole event. We've only seen a couple of teams go about 4 minutes each with something other than the man-to-man defense.
30-second timeout, 2:03 in the third for East River.
30-second timeout requested by the Falcons.
And now we're seeing some trapping going on here from East River, or from Lake Wales. So Mark, also we haven't brought this up here yet, and since this game's a fairly large lead, we got Lake Wales with some unusual jerseys.
Yeah, we've been struggling all game to actually read those, which is why sometimes we're a little late with the call after a shot is made. They look very attractive. They have a very unusual and distinctive look about them. I like them a lot, other than the fact that I can't read the numbers on them.
Yeah, military fatigue pattern.
Basket by number 20. Michaah Johnson-Bargnare on the pass from Jalen Brown.
Look out below, Mark.
Offensive foul is called against number 4. Julius Osborne is second, the team's 5th.
So if you didn't realize it, the media table just got ran into. I thought my playing days were long over there, Mark.
Illegal screen is called against number 31, Terrell James, his second. Out of bounds, Highlanders ball. So an opportunity there is blown by the Falcons as they're just not aware of their geography on the court.
Yeah, again, you expect that with a young team. As we mentioned, this is a team that's coming off an 8-17 record. That's East River.
Foul's called against Highlanders, number 31. Terrell James is third, the team's 5th.
However, they do return 8 seniors, excuse me. I do get the feeling, though, that most of those seniors, given the score right now, that they did not see a lot of time last year.
Johnson-Bargnare with another 3. Answered with the 3 from Fields.
And boy, about as good an ending as you can get there for Lake Wales. They already had a great ending to the half.
And that takes us to the end of the third period. I cannot read these jerseys so much. Real fast. Falcons have the opening possession of the fourth period. Traveling.
So again, Mark, a 27-point lead here as we start the fourth quarter for Lake Wales. Now normally, and I believe this is going to be the first time it's different.
Basket by Jameer Henderson on the inbound from Josh Rodriguez.
Field goal percentage is a statistic which begins the starting point for such a large lead. However, both teams have shot 46%. The difference is that Lake Wales has attempted 23 more field goals. And again, as I always like to say, you don't need to be a basketball guru to understand the more shots the team takes, the more likely they are to score.
Plain gets the block and rebound there, and we're going to get a foul away from the play.
Lake Wales has attempted 54 field goals, making 25.
Flag 4.
And East River has taken 33, making 15. Again, 46% for both teams, but 21 differential in attempts. And of course, that adds part of the reason that Lake Wales has taken 21 more field goals is a 16 to 9 advantage in offensive rebounds. 26 in total for both teams actually, but 16 to 9 for offensive rebounds. They've also made 4 more free throws, 6 of 12 compared to 2 of 4, and 10 more turnovers have been committed by East River, 18 to 8.
Foul was called against number 20, Michaah Johnson-Bargnare. That's his 4th personal foul. The team's 7th, and it will send Jamari Plain to the free throw line. Shooting 1-on-1 bonus.
England with 8 points now. He's 3 of 4 from the field, only 0 of 1 at the line. It's going to be 0 of 2. Second time we've seen the ball get stuck in the rim today, Mark.
And when the ball is stuck in the rim, that'll count as a held ball. Possession arrow favors the Highlanders.
You know, Mark, I don't think we've ever seen the ball get stuck in the rim twice in an entire season, let alone twice in a matter of, I believe, 2 games.
Julius Osborne is fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. The foul is called against number 25, Tyler Green, his first, and the team's 7th. Falcons will benefit from an offensive team rebound here as it goes out of bounds off the Highlanders.
So 6 minutes left in the ballgame, a 24-point lead by Lake Wales. And I think you can at least, if you're East River, to some degree, look at the fact and find a positive that this lead has not grown to more than 25. They are at least maintaining the deficit.
Fouls called against number 32. Jamari Plain is first, the team's 8th at the line, shooting 1 and 1. Shafat. Checking into the game for the Highlanders, number 31, Terrell James.
So lead back down to 22. So yeah, Mark, as we dip under 6 minutes here, this is the Metro versus Florida Challenge. And we have a 10-7 score. Of course, that'll be 11-7 in favor of the Florida contingency in about 5.5 minutes.
Shafat on the pass from Osborne.
23 games are being held over the course of 3 days. Today is the last day, a total of 8 games today. And the Metro Conference is made up of all the public high schools in Orange County, and therefore all of the Florida contingency schools are those that not in the Metro Conference. We have a Metro team represented in each game and a Florida contingency represented in each game. And at the end of the 23 games, we add up who has the most victories. Some long-range gunning there.
Shafat pulls in his own rebound. Julius Osborne fouled on the attempt to go to the line and shoot 2.
31.
Fouls called against number 31. Terrell James is 4th, the team's 9th.
So coming up next, we will have women's action. The Apopka Blue Darters will be taking on the Seminoles.
Amarian playing coast to coast for the Highlanders. And Neil, that kind of transition play is exactly a perfect example of why we've got a 20-point ball game here.
Yeah, again, going into this fourth quarter, an 18-8 advantage by Lake Wales. That, along with offensive rebound, translated into 21 more field goal attempts by Lake Wales. Nothing's really changed here.
Anglin on the steal. Julius Osborne is fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot two. Foul's called against number 31, Terrell James. That's his 5th personal foul, and he'll retire from the game with 4 points for the Highlanders. Checking into the game for him, number 32, number 32, Jamari Plain. Green gets the rebound, but is called for 3 seconds in the key. Falcons ball. Out of bounds, Highlanders ball. Steal by Garcia. Can't get anything done in transition. We'll go to the corner. Osborne bounces the 3 off, and the rebound goes to the Highlanders. Traveling, Falcons ball, checking into the game for the Falcons. Number 30, Oscar Correa. Shavata Rodriguez for 3.
White 10, technical foul. Gotta wait.
Technical foul is called against number 10, Josh Rodriguez, his second, the team's 8th. At the line shooting the technical free throws for the Highlanders, number 22, Jeremiah Anglin.
So Anglin with 8 points. He is 3 of 7 from the field.
And of course, the penalty with the technical foul in high school is not only the 2 free throws, but also possession.
Yes, sir. Both teams remain in man-to-man here. Of action under the board. And by the way, both teams are in the bonus, so we will be shooting free throws the rest of the way.
Out of bounds. Falcons ball. Imran Shafat from Jalen Brown.
So yeah, quick reminder, stick around. Got an unusual contest coming up next. Unusual in the fact that the ladies will be taking to the court. It will be Apopka versus Seminole. Apopka had a very disappointing season last year, but they get a couple of seniors back who were on the team as freshmen, and their hopes and anticipation have definitely skyrocketed with those returns.
30-second timeout requested by the Highlanders.
Checking in. Lake Wales. Yes, sir.
And now Lake Wales goes with, remains in that man-to-man defense.
Out of bounds. Highlander ball.
Move the ball around. Very good all game.
Cory Wright from the baseline.
So again, now as we're down under a minute, the Florida contingency, and specifically Lake Wales, is going to take victory here. Came out early, shot the ball well, moved it well to open up some good looks.
Cory Wright for three.
Took an early lead, and they've led from start to finish. The key really was not the fact that, unlike most of the other games, East River did not shoot the ball well. Actually, both teams were shooting 40% leading into the fourth quarter, but Lake Wales took 54 shots compared to 33. That's a 21 attempt differential. No reason to believe that has changed here in the fourth quarter. That differential was created by getting almost twice as many differential on offensive rebounds and more than twice as many on turnovers. And again, one last time, as we got 2.8 seconds here. Tune in for the next game. That's going to be an unusual game. It will be females.
Foul called against Jalen Brown, is second. The team's ninth at the line. Shooting is number 11, Jeffrey Dorsonville.
Yes, the females will take to the court. The Lady Blue Darters, that's Apopka, will be taking on the Lady Seminoles. That's Seminole out of Sanford.
That takes us to the end of the ball game, and it's a 72-52 victory for the Highlanders here in game number 18 of the 10th annual Metro versus Florida Challenge. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for coming out to support your Highlander and Falcon athletes this afternoon. Thanks also to those of you tuned in on our YouTube live stream on the Metro versus Florida Challenge channel. Don't go anywhere except the concession stand. We've got more Metro versus Florida Challenge action coming your way. Right after a quick break, we're going to come back with a special event. The Lady Blue Darters will take on the Seminoles in our special women's event. And that is the only women's game we'll have among the 23. We'll look forward to hosting that in about 10 minutes. For those of you who are joining us on the live stream, please be aware that each live stream is on a separate event on YouTube Live, so you will need to exit out of this live stream and join us on the next one in about 10 minutes. We'll see you there.